Hello, I'm Dámaso Rodríguez. What has just been announced is my first season of plays that I curated as artistic director. Our main mission, our main work is about collaboration and creation of work. So original productions, even if the play was world premiered and developed elsewhere, when we're doing it, we're putting our own spin on it. After months of planning and considering many possibilities, we're starting off with The Skin of Our Teeth by Thornton Wilder. This will be a large-scale version of The Skin of Our Teeth, and it's a play that is ultimately about the human family. It's a cycle play, so each act repeats, and you find these universal themes through the repetition. So the family is always on the brink, facing some great catastrophe. And in each case, the family ultimately faces extinction, and then fights for survival and begins again. There's also a huge community participatory component to the piece because the play is also about a theater company trying to do this play, The Skin of Our Teeth, and the play keeps falling apart. And so at one point in the play, it really falls apart and it requires volunteers. And so this is building upon our public works program in a large community production that happens every other year or so in the summer. This year, we're not able to do that production because we're renovating our lobby space. And so this is serving as a kind of hybrid and an evolution of that program. The seasons are not just a random selection of plays. A subscription is a full experience. It's designed for the person that sees all 7 shows. And we're really being very intentional about that in this coming season and moving forward. That speaks to Ebony Booth's Primary Trust. It's a brand new play that premiered in 2023 in New York, and now you're going to see it at theaters all over the country because it's such a beautiful piece of writing. And it deals with this young man named Kenneth, and he has an imaginary friend. And the imaginary friend can be seen by the audience. And I think it just creates this incredible empathy machine where you're pulling for the primary character to do well in life, but he has this other figure in his life that is kind of compromising his day-to-day. And so it's a beautiful piece. It's about community. It's about connection. Up next, Blithe Spirit by Noel Coward, one of the 20th century's iconic, most important playwrights. It's a high-concept comedy that many films and television shows have borrowed from over the years. There's a seance at the beginning of the play. It centers around this novelist who's doing research for a book he's writing about the occult. And he hires this medium to conduct a seance. And of course, the medium accidentally conjures the ghost of his late wife. And she won't leave. And so it becomes a supernatural love triangle. In the winter of 2025, Blues for an Alabama Sky by Pearl Cledge. We're basically saying this is now a classic. This is a drama. It's set in 1930 in Harlem, and it centers around artists in that time. There's a costume and fashion designer. There's a nightclub singer and a reproductive rights activist. It's about neighbors, etc. And it's looking at this moment in their life, and then just there's a compression of circumstances that happen dramatically, and it results in just a really emotional, beautiful, compelling, riveting story. It's March maybe of 2025. We're back in the Leo K, and this is a world premiere. Mother Russia, or Periods of Collapse by Lauren Yee. This is a really important playwright, and we're going to develop this piece with her here. It's a really clever geopolitical comedy, and it's about our modern moment, but she's looking at now what is a period piece. 1992, just after the collapse and the fall of the Soviet Union. It centers on these 2 guys who don't know what to do now that capitalism exists, where they can make kind of infinite choices with their lives. So they take these security level jobs to beef up their resumes and end up tracking this former Russian pop star, and this kind of weird love triangle happens. The mob is involved at a certain point. Back in the Bagley Right, a really wonderful new-ish comedy called Laughs in Spanish, set in a Miami art gallery, lights up, and all the paintings in this gallery have been stolen. And so it starts in this kind of farcical whodunit setup. And then, to a certain extent, hijinks ensue. And it's very funny. But the play has a lot of heart, which is why I think it's more interesting than just a straight-up farce or sitcom. It has a lot of depth. Okay, so that was 6 plays in a row, all of them built by the rep. When you see that brand, it means that we brought in the director, we cast it, we built the design team, we created a unique version of the set here in Seattle. employing mostly Seattle artists on all the shows. But occasionally, for a lot of reasons, we want to present a show. And this is the return of the company, the Seven Fingers, that many of you might have seen at the beginning of this season. Who saw Passengers? Passengers had, whether it was the silks or trapeze or juggling or various other cirque performance elements, around this theme of travel, etc. This one takes Romeo and Juliet, so you'll recognize Romeo and Juliet as characters, and Mercutio, and the Montagues, and the Capulets, as a kind of starting off point, and then it's ultimately all competitive. So the set is like a sports arena. The two households or factions are divided up, red and blue like you see here, and then audience members will also be given a certain team to cheer for. So that is the lineup. That's a 7-show season. I hope to see you as often as you are able to attend. Thank you.